very, very flattering, I must say, and I'm very humbled at the amount of money that is being spent to make what I think is a fantastic idea. It's going to make a lot of changes to how people react in the area, and hopefully bring people to stay there and have coffee or whatever happens. But yeah, it's unbelievable what all these guys are doing. I mean, moving trees around, and it's hard to talk about it, but it's just a phenomenal thing. I think it's, again, with that team, it's fantastic.
And for a lot of us, the appearance is really a change from what we've seen of years past. How does this look match with your original vision?
Absolutely. You may be able to see some photographs there of the original colors when they arrived, and they were more or less like it is now with the new development. And that is what has been such a big, difficult thing for the guys doing the coloration, the oxidizing, it's called a patina, to marry up with what I envisaged from what it was in the beginning. These horses, these bronzes, are 85% copper. In fact, I think about 87% copper. And so copper in any element with humidity and so on will go green. And so because the horses were in the water and around the water for so long, the rain has elements in it that change the color of copper or bronze. And that will happen anyway to bronzes all over the world anytime. The ones that are in the water actually go green quicker. And so what we've done is taken them back to pretty close to what the original color was of the horses. So they and the plaza are all going to be new again.
And when people see this updated plaza with your restored sculpture, what impact do you hope it has? Meaning, what do you want people to feel or think when they look at it?
Oh boy, that's a good question. So far, I'm very humbled by the whole thing. That's a really hard question to answer, but I think they will continue to what the original vision and intention was of Ben Carpenter, to be a symbol of freedom. That's what he wanted to be. And that is a small holding in the middle of a very big development everywhere in the world, the way it's going. And people coming to see that will feel a bit of liberation, I hope, in that is where our freedom is, in symbols like that, in the prairie or anywhere in the world for that matter, a bit of space with a bit of history, and where we should be and what we should be, freedom. And we're getting further and further away from that as time goes on.
Yeah, and I know you have heard about the new elevated overlook that will give people a different vantage point of the Mustangs. Are you going to be checking out all of the new photographs people capture, or how do you keep up with all of that?
Actually, the way the planners are creating that stuff, it's actually complementary. And the plaza will always be the plaza. The horses, I hope, will always be there, and people can go overhead and look at them, and go by, and I hope people will say, wow, look at those, or but drive past on O'Connor in cars, and everybody sort of glances or stops their cars. I've even seen police giving guys trouble for stopping there for too long. But yeah, I think whatever happens, it will always remain what it is. At least that's what I'd like to see. And then in the East Building, very, very, very good lady called Mary Higby was running the museum about the horses. And that's a really important factor, because since we began the project way in the beginning at talking stage with Ben, he had a professional film crew and a still camera person recording the entire operation from beginning to end. Now, that was nearly 8.5 years of my life. And so that is all has been displayed in the Mustang Museum on the edge of the plaza in the East Building, and that's all going to be reinstated. But that also is important to show people just how these were made.
Let me ask you this. Of all the work you have done throughout your career, how special is this sculpture to you?
Oh, that is, without any question in my life, that is the ultimate. It was and still is and always will be just the biggest thing that I've done in many, many ways, mentally and everything else. Many challenges, many, many challenges. It does still remain very, very special. And after the number of years that it's been there, and I've been many times to see it and be around, it still works for me. And that is quite hard for an artist to be able to do something that long ago and then walk in X number of years later and say, yeah, okay, it still works. Instead of covering your eyes and walking away. But no, it's there, and I love it, and I love everything about it.